Are you 0-3 in fantasy football with half of your team injured and just want a brand new squad? Maybe daily fantasy sports is for you. Come prop up on Thrive Fantasy this NFL season.
Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports app for player props. With Thrive, you can eliminate the countless hours of research and focus on only the top-tier athletes that have the biggest impact on the game.
Each prop is assigned a fantasy value for both the over and the under based on how likely it is to hit. Hit the props and rack up the most points to win a share of the prize pool.
Thrive is awarded over $15 million in total.
Use our promo code TEMPO, that's TEMPO, when you sign up today, and you will receive a 100% instant first deposit match up to $100.
Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or Play Store, or by visiting their website, thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and prop up today.
Now let's get into today's podcast. Welcome back, everyone, to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, episode 156. Today, we are back for a full-length episode. Hopefully, you liked our little advertisement we did at the beginning there. We've teamed up with Thrive Fantasy Sports. We're going to be doing a special fast break episode this weekend, basically on their app. But yeah, go check us out on there. Use our promo code TEMPO, TEMPO. One thing we didn't include is that you can't use it in Michigan, so all of our Michigan listeners, we're really sorry, but other states you can, but Michigan just at the moment can't, which sucks. But
it really sucks because it was just recently.
Yeah.
But go use it. It helps us out a ton. Use our code, and it's really cool that the code is Tempo.
Yeah,
that's just awesome.
Exactly.
Something that is ours now. That is something that is ours, which is really cool.
It is. But today we're back for a regular episode. We've done 2 fast break episodes since our last podcast, so go check those out as well. But today we are back for weekly picks once again and another list, top 10 backcourts in the NBA. Our NBA preseason episode is coming pretty soon, as well as our top 25 players episode. Those will both be coming out within the next few weeks. So.
Yeah, with how much content we've been pumping out, those are going to start to become their own videos. They're just going to be... We're just going to do it. There's going to be no other talk.
Yeah,
it's going to be top 25 players in the NBA right now, and our NBA season preview is going to be hype.
Yeah.
That's going to be I'm so excited for the end. I'm not tired of football or anything yet. I love football season. But, man, am I excited to see the NBA because I've just been thinking about all the new teams.
And you got football and NBA. That's just the best part about it. And then college basketball. It's just best time of the year, sports-wise, is incoming, not weather-wise. But
yeah, last night we had nothing to do, so we watched a movie.
Yeah,
and
that's not going to be happening once NBA starts.
Yeah, especially because we got League Pass this year.
Yeah, there's sports on every day.
It's going to be crazy.
Let's get into it, though. Let's start off with some college football talk. I don't want to talk about this for long. Just putting that out there. Michigan State gets stomped by Minnesota at home last weekend. Another game where Michigan was the underdog coming in, and I'm like, that's interesting. Minnesota's a really good team, though. They're the best team in the Big Ten West right now, undefeated. I actually don't know if they got bumped up into the top 25 or not, but they looked really good. Michigan State did not look really good. We played really bad, and their season's over. I mean, let's be honest here. We can upset Michigan. We can upset Ohio State, and it'd all be for nothing. Obviously, I still want that to happen, but the season's over, which sucks 4 weeks into the year, and had really high expectations coming into this year, but just sucks.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Last year, you guys kind of went in with not a ton of expectations, but this year, I mean, Michigan State fans all over were just saying how great you guys were going to be, and it's not that you can't be great anymore. It's just that getting to that, the upper echelon, the college football playoff, just became impossible after those 2 losses. But losing your defensive players early in the season, everything kind of went wrong right from the start.
Yeah.
Peyton Thorne came out not looking as great as he did last year, and it was definitely a scary start. Michigan didn't have a much better game. They just ended up winning. JJ looked rough, very rough. He was scrambling all the time, always trying to make the big play, never just taking the sack, throwing the ball out of bounds, none of that. It was really nerve-wracking to see what's going to happen going forward. Because if you're playing a good defense, you can't just collapse and try to make the play every time. It's just not how it works.
And he missed. I mean, it was not. I don't think he was forcing the big play. It was just he was missing the big play. I mean, he had 5 or 6 deep balls where he's got his receiver and he overthrew him every single time. And it's just I get he hasn't had a ton of experience, but from what we've seen, I mean, he's been money on the deep balls, But obviously, this is the best so far this season, at least. This is the best team he's played so far, the best defense. If Michigan plays that way against a Minnesota, against a Iowa like they have next week, they're not winning, So like obviously they have to tweak some things. Maryland is a good team. They're a very underrated offense. But yeah, Michigan didn't look great either.
Yeah, it really sucks because we started off so strong in that game. And I guess where I'm at, like, forcing the big play, it was more about JJ's, like, scrambling tendencies.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
He was just running around like a crazy person. Just like a madman in the backfield. There was the one play where he ran 20 yards back to get 3 yards, 4 yards. And it was like...
That's what you take with the quarterback like that.
Yeah.
You're with a playmaking QB, he's going to also make some plays that really make you think,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to see what goes on going forward. But that game was definitely nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Especially seeing the talented teams in the Big Ten this year. Penn State looks really good.
Exactly. And that's another thing, like going back to Michigan State, that is obviously I can have high upside and think, well, we can still go 10-2, we can win out. But it's like we still have the hardest games of our schedule ahead of us. Like we have to play Maryland next week, which, I'm not very excited about that. We still have to play Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, like Wisconsin, all these teams those were the games that I thought was going to be tough, not these early season ones. I'm going to the Ohio State game in 2 weeks. I'm excited to go to East Lansing, but to go to the actual game, I'm really not that excited for, especially because they tanked the prices on that game of tickets because State sucks now. So like they're way cheaper than they were when I bought them. So that just sucks even more. But yeah, I think this honestly just shows how good Kenneth Walker was last year. Obviously, this Michigan State team, the defense is banged up and everything, but Kenneth Walker really carried Michigan State last year, and it shows that he was the Heisman last year. Just some good news out of this.
Yeah, it proves how great he was, and it wasn't just a fluke season. If the other two RBs would have came in and dominated, it would have been like, huh, was he really even?
And Jalen Berger's been good, but not like K9.
No, not at all.
Exactly.
K9 dominated.
Yeah. Is there any other college? I mean, there wasn't even really any big games. Appalachian State had another crazy game that they blew 28-3, lost. They just had a crazy game.
What, JMU?
Yeah.
Right.
So they've literally just had a crazy game all 4 games so far. So they're 2-2.
I wonder. I gotta start watching them.
Literally, they're the most entertaining team ever, I guess. But yeah, let's hop into weekly picks. The Week 3 review. We were tied 1-1 coming into Week 3, and I'm just going to get it out of the way. Bad week for me. I got 7 out of 19. You got 11 out of 19, so an easy dub for you. I went 0 for 3 on my spread picks, and you went 3 for 3 on your spread picks. So
that hurts.
It's a heartbreaker because, if you would have gone 1 for 3 and I go 3 for 3, I win,
Yeah,
so it's
sure.
So you now have 5 total on the year, and I still am at 3. So
man, I can't believe I went 3 for 3. That's kind of baller.
Yeah, I know. That's huge.
Low key.
So is there any? Obviously, we're going to talk about the Lions, but is there any other games that we want to go over before we get? Was there any injuries? Any big things that happened that off the top of my head?
There's one that I'm thinking of. It was the Chiefs Colts game.
Oh yeah.
Colts. They played a good football team, and guess what they looked? Pretty good. They look like
really weird.
They look like a solid football team.
The play. Matt Ryan did still have 2 fumbles.
He's got what, 6 or 5?
Something
it's ridiculous.
Only one of them got lost, but the one where he got sacked, I don't remember. I don't know if it was Chris Jones or whoever it was, but he literally just tried escaping from the sack and just couldn't. Literally just fell backwards as he got sacked. It was hilarious. Yeah, they won though, which was really surprising because they've been a horrible team so far this year. I still don't trust them though. I'm still not all in on the Colts yet. We'll get there. When you have a record at 1-1-1, it's get rid of that and then we'll go from there.
I trust them to make it a good game against a good opponent. I don't trust them to do anything else other than if they're playing somebody good, they're going to play probably pretty decent. They just suck against. I mean, Jacksonville isn't shitty anymore.
They've proven that they're a good team.
They're a really good football team.
The Indianapolis Colts Week 1 should beat that team.
Yeah, especially after coming off what happened last year.
Or no, it was Week 2, right? Yeah, I think Houston was Week 1 where they tied.
Yeah.
Either way, though.
Yeah, super interesting. I don't think there's any other games.
Yeah, I mean,
Cardinals?
There was an injury that Mac Jones got injured. But I don't know how long he's going to miss time for. The Lions do play the Patriots in 2 weeks, so that could matter.
The Monday night game was pretty awesome.
I was going to say Cooper Rush getting his second win of the season, obviously his third ever as a starter. He's looked pretty good. Like he's played pretty well. That was actually a really good game between the Cowboys and the Giants as well. Liked that game a lot.
Yeah, super unfortunate injury at the end of that game.
Yeah.
It was like I didn't see it happen until the next day I was on Twitter and I saw the Sterling Shepard injury and it just made me like cringe because like not only was it's hard to watch that kind of thing.
Right.
But like just knowing that he wasn't doing anything. He was just jogging.
Yeah.
And it
wasn't
just,
even in on the play.
Like and it really sucks cuz not a lot of guys come back well from that. James Robinson is the example of somebody who has.
Well, he was Achilles though. Shepard tore his ACL, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it looks like versus that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really hoping for him. It just sucks to see players get injured on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like really sucks.
Especially like a play like that. Like you said, it's not like he got hit hard or took a weird plant. Like he literally is just normally jogging down the field and then just boom out of nowhere. It's like that's so unfortunate that can even happen.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the only other game was the Sunday night game between Niners and Denver. Sucked. We'll get in. I mean, we're gonna talk about all these teams obviously like when we do our weekly picks or whatever. So it's not that big of a deal to mention them right now. Let's talk about the Lions though. We lose last week to the Minnesota Vikings, 28-24, I believe was the final score, or was it 20? I don't even remember. 23 maybe. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We lose in classic Lions fashion. We lose in same old Lions fashion. As much as we want to get rid of the same old Lions, that is a same old Lions loss. It just was. But it just sucks even more because the Philly loss didn't hurt that much because we came back from behind. Like we were down big and we came back, almost won. It's like at least we showed some fight. This game hurts so much more because we outplayed the Vikings. We played so much better than them. Shut down Justin Jefferson. The offense looked really well. Jared Goff played well. With Swift and Amon-Ra banged up, we still, found a way to get in the end zone. And we just couldn't manage the game in the fourth quarter and lost this huge game that we easily should have as a win right now.
Yeah, if there's a knock on Dan Campbell as a head coach so far, it's his fourth quarter management's been horrible.
Mm-hmm. It has been horrible.
It's the only word I can find. He's been awful. His time management, like you said, there was the clips of how many times the Lions snapped the ball when trying to drain time with 12 seconds on the clock.
Yeah,
on the play clock. How do we not know to let that thing go to 3
exactly
and then snap it? How at the end of the game when they make the long ball and they're going up to the line, they have to spike it. It is their only option. And we call a timeout. We don't even force them to spike the football. Mm-hmm. Make them spike it. And then if you want to still use your timeout, call it. At least they lose a down. Ends up being we call a timeout. And the KJ Osborne touchdown, it was the only pass of the whole game that was more than 20 yards. Only 20-yard completion of the whole game. Very last play. We played so much better than them. Okuda played great, no matter what DK Metcalf said today.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they were double teaming Jets 100%, but
best receiver in football.
It's not like Okuda has played bad up to this point. He was one-on-one against Terry all day, one-on-one against Devontae Smith all day. What are you going to do? Play Jets 1v1 against a guy? I don't think anybody's stopping. Actually, Darius Slay kind of did, but But besides the point, DK Metcalf can shut up about that. Of course he says that the week before the Lions.
We're probably going to double team you, and you're probably going to have one.
We don't need to double team DK Metcalf's ass, dude.
Yeah, I hate him. Just let Geno throw picks.
But obviously this loss isn't just on Dan Campbell. Amani Oruwariye is a huge piece of this loss because with double teaming Justin Jefferson with a safety over the top, we left Amani one-on-one against Thielen, which you would think is a good matchup. Amani was really good last year. I mean, he was good in the sense that he got interceptions. But he's been poor so far to start this year and has multiple, I think 3 or 4 holding / pass interference calls. A lot of them came in the fourth quarter. Really just destroyed our chances of getting a stop defensively because Thielen was playing so well. But yeah, Dan Campbell, and then the obvious one is choosing to kick the 54-yard field goal over going for it on, I think it was 4th and 5. When we've been hitting it on 4th down most of the game, but not even the fact that you had to go for it. You could have just punted the ball, pin him inside the 5, and then try to make him drive down the field. Because even a field goal at the time doesn't win us from a touchdown. It just prevents them from winning from a field goal. So I guess I understood where he was coming from. He wanted to, be up by more than 3 points, but Siebert had not hit, he was kicking bad. He hasn't kicked well so far this year. And it just wasn't the right decision. It's that plain and simple.
Yeah, when I think about same old Lions, it's the Lions that played not to lose every week. They didn't play to win. They were afraid of losing. The whole game, we are playing to win against the Vikings. We're going front and forth. We're better than you, and we're gonna if it takes us 4 downs, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get it. And then all of a sudden, fourth quarter comes and we play scared. You're better than this Vikings team. Go for it. There's a great chance you get it. And if you don't, at least you made the aggressive play. Siebert is 19 of 30 from field goals over 40 yards. That is a 63%.
That's ridiculous. From 40 yards?
Yeah,
that's 40 that's terrible.
Plus. Why is he on the roster?
And then they asked Dan Campbell after the game about Siebert, if he's going to get cut or not. And he said, I'd like to give him one more look. That's what he said. And it's just dude, I understand Rodrigo Blankenship has been bad for the Colts, but he's sitting there in free agency.
Yeah.
Give him a shot, he's for the memes too.
And he would love it. He would love Detroit. Him and Jamal Williams would be awesome.
Exactly. So it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating because Dan Campbell in Hard Knocks and in training camp really hammered the fact that we need to get rid of same old Lions. The same old Lions are teams that are in games and they find a way to lose. We need to get rid of that part, we have all the winning aspects here. We just need to get rid of that finding a way to lose, and we need to find a way to win. And that is exact opposite of what happened in this game. And it's something that is alarming going forward for the rest of this season because we know this team has the talent. This team is offensively the best Lions team I've seen in some years. So with Jared Goff playing at a high level. Defensively, we do lead the league in points allowed. I definitely think that there is we've had our spots. We definitely need guys to be more consistent. There was no pressure at all on Kirk Cousins last week, whereas, 2 weeks ago against Carson Wentz, we were all over him. But it sucks because going forward, we have a bad schedule. This team can win games, and we now know that. We just need to figure out the end of the games.
The note I want to leave on with this Lions team is me and you predicted this and projected this. We projected 8-win, 9-win season. That means they have to lose 8 or 9 times. I'm really hoping this is just one of the 8 or 9 losses. I hope this isn't something that's going to build. And I really don't think it will. I think
hope not, yeah.
I'm still a believer that this Lions team is different, and 2 games, or 1 game isn't going to change that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be that Lions fan, the Lions fan who doesn't believe.
Yeah.
I'm a believer.
Exactly. So am I. And, one thing that does notable from this game is a lot of injuries happened from this game. DeAndre Swift, I think, dislocated shoulder or he re-aggravated his shoulder that he was already dealing with. Good chance he doesn't play this week. Amon-Ra St. Brown is dealing with is it knee or ankle injury, some lower body injury. He's still questionable. They don't know. He didn't practice today. Nobody practiced today. Frank Ragnow didn't practice. Jonah Jackson is still out. G.J. Shark and Josh Reynolds and Amon-Ra, none of them practiced because Reynolds got hurt at the end of the game as well. So we're going to be banged up heading into Seattle, and we got to find a way to win that game. We did it against Washington, banged up. We got to find a way to win that game without our 2 biggest playmakers.
Yeah, that's the issue. Losing Amon-Ra and DeAndre Swift they're the guys you give them the ball when things are going wrong and go do something, and they're just that good. They figure it out. It's really scary. Tom Kennedy might have
to come up off the practice squad. Yeah, low key. By the way, Jameson Williams he will make his debut week 7, or at least that's what they plan to do, because our bye is week 6. He's eligible to come back week 5, but doesn't really make sense for him to play, and then they have a bye week. You might as well just give him that full time to really be 100%. So week 7 at Dallas is going to be his debut, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm so excited for JMO. Super excited.
All right, let's get into to weekly picks for this week, right?
Yeah, for sure.
High tempo weekly picks.
High tempo weekly picks.
All NFL games of the week.
What teams are gonna cover the spread?
Season 3. Welcome back. Go Lions. Yes, sir. High
high tempo weekly picks.
That was the weekly picks jingle. Let's get into it. We have 4 primetime games this week. We haven't had a tie yet, which with adding the 3 extra points obviously makes it a lot more simple.
Yeah.
But we have more opportunity for tiebreakers this week with 4 primetime games. Starting off with Thursday Night Football. What a doozy this is going to be. We have the 3-0 Miami Dolphins taking on the 1-2 Cincinnati Bengals.
What a doozy. Can't believe that's how you described this game. Man, watching Miami's been fun so far.
Yeah.
And beating the Bills, I really did. I when I was going into that game, I believed that could happen. Did I expect it to
Didn't
happen?
pick it though, but I did.
Know. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's pretty fire. How'd you do on the whole week?
I was waiting for that.
I'm going with Miami. They just look so good. And right now, they're the best team in football.
Ooh, hot take, question mark?
I don't think it is.
Philly?
It's them or Philly.
You could still argue it's Baltimore or Buffalo.
Yeah, you
like,
could.
obviously Miami beat those teams, but
Yeah.
like...
In 2
Yeah.
weeks, I think you can argue. But
Right.
like, Buffalo just lost to
Yeah,
Miami.
exactly.
So it makes it tough.
I get what you're saying, though. Yeah, Miami's definitely one of, if not the best.
Yeah.
FanDuel has got, obviously, FanDuel is our odds and everything, but every betting site's got Cincy favored in this game. I get it,
Yeah,
they're the
why?
home team and everything, but it's confusing me, you know? It's like,
Wait, isn't this the game in London?
No, this is Thursday night game.
Oh, I thought this was
London
the
is the
London
next
game.
one.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, in Cincy, I get why they're favored, but like they've played like they haven't played good. They did play good last week. So it's got me confused. So I'm taking the Bengals because what do they know that we don't? I'm gonna take the Bengals here. I was gonna take Miami to cover, which looking back at it, like is probably the move, but I'm not gonna. Whatever.
Yeah, real quick, if you are a fantasy owner of T. Higgins and your league is massively underrating how great he is, don't trade him. Hold on to him and prove everybody wrong. He's going to be nuts
Is
this
that
year.
like what's happening with you?
Yeah.
Sounds like you're
yeah.
speaking from experience.
Yeah, nobody wants T. Higgins, so now it's like middle fingers to y'all. I'm keeping him, and you're gonna start losing to him, and you're gonna be pissed that you didn't take him. He's so good.
I would be mad too. Now we have the London game Sunday morning at like 9:30. Oh my God, you'd love to see it. We have the 2-1 Minnesota Vikings taking on the 1-2 New Orleans Saints.
I've got a different feeling about the Vikings than I usually do. I might be feeling some sort of way about them, especially after last week. And for that reason, I'm going with New Orleans. I don't know what's going to happen. Michael Thomas looks like he's nursing a new injury. Yikes.
What?
Looks like he might
I
not
did
play
see that,
again.
yeah.
Chris Olave fantasy owners, all smiles.
That's me. Yeah, give me the Saints as well. The Vikings, I'm pissed at them for winning that game. Because they didn't deserve to, so I'm taking the Saints in this one. Saints, also, I had them in the team league last week against the Panthers. Just got crapped on. Like, what is going on? Finally got a good pick in the team league this week, though. I had the second pick, so that's good.
Oh, wait, didn't the Lions get taken first?
Yeah.
By Jim?
Dude, Jimmy has gotten the first pick 3 out of 4 weeks.
That's just ridiculous. What's his record?
I've beat him once, so he has at least one
And
loss.
the Lions haven't lost.
Lions haven't. Wait, did you had him last week? You won?
They won, yeah.
So they're 3-0.
They're 3-0. It's
Like
pretty
the fact that
ridiculous.
he took them first with Amon-Ra and Swift being out, like I was gonna do it at 2, but I just figured he wouldn't because I've been going off with the Lions.
Yeah, I
so.
took the Fins, so that's also why I took them against
Oh yeah,
Cincinnati.
good. That's a good call. So next we have the 1-2 Tennessee Titans taking on the 1-1 Indianapolis
Oh, it
Colts.
sounded like you're about to spit something there. You're about to spit something.
1-1. We having so much fun,
Hey.
bruh. All right, go ahead.
I don't know if you guys know this. Tennessee's a good team. They're always going to be a good team. Indianapolis plays well against good teams.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Taking the Colts.
Listen, I said I'm not fully sold on the Colts yet. Give me the Titans. Derrick Henry, it's time to go off against them. Colts, I got to see it. I got to see multiple weeks of good play before I go back to buying in on the Colts.
Yeah, for sure.
Next, we have the 2-1 Chicago Bears taking on the 2-1 New York Giants.
It makes me so mad that both these teams are 2-1.
Right?
They just aren't good
When
enough.
are the Bears going to play a team, dude? Like, I was literally going through this. I'm like, man, the Bears are 2-1. They're playing the Giants? Like, I mean, they did play San Fran and Green Bay already, but like...
If the Bears
Whatever.
start off 3-1, are you kidding me? I would be pissed.
Pop quiz. The Chicago Bears have 23 team receptions on the year. As a team, they have 23. Name the 4 wide receivers that have more individually than the entire Chicago Bears team.
Okay.
I think I remember them all.
Okay. Reception hogs. I'm going to go Jalen Waddle.
Nope.
Tyreek Hill.
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Think about like the obvious ones.
Justin Jefferson.
No.
Oh, Cooper Kupp. Diggs.
Cooper Kupp, number 1. Diggs, number 2.
Not Devontae.
No.
He hasn't been good enough. Jamar.
No. Well, actually, one of them is tied with 23 with them.
Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra's tied.
And
And then there's one more.
CD?
You're probably not going to guess it. No. Let me just tell you.
Yeah.
Marquise Brown. Mainly because he had 14.
Yeah, 14 for
week-
100.
Yeah, the last game.
He sucks.
But the Bears, 23 receptions as a team.
Isn't Darnell Mooney leading with like 6? I think something ridiculous.
I don't think it's Mooney. I think he has like not many. Yeah.
This Bears team blows. Like, I hate the Bears.
Yeah.
They should be running the option. They should be running the triple option in the NFL. You don't throw it anyways.
They still found a way to win last week, though, which is just wild. Because Fields' stat line was just like horrid.
Didn't he throw like 6 times?
It was like 8 of 17 with a pick for like 100 yards. Like just something like want to make you vomit.
It's just crazy that they're winning games.
They won that game. Like
I'm taking the Giants
Yeah.
here. I'm taking their spread at -3.5. Please blow these guys out. I'm sick of it.
I like
hate the
that pick.
Bears.
I definitely wish I would have taken that one. I got the Giants as well. They played pretty good against Dallas. Like
Yes, they
Daniel
did.
Jones looked good. Saquon looked good. So yeah, give me the Giants all day. Next we have matchup of the week alert. We have the 2-1 Buffalo Bills taking on the 2-1 Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, this game is awesome. 2 of the top teams. You were saying
Bills
that,
back-to-back tough games.
Yeah, it really sucks for the Bills. Their strength of schedule is just ridiculous so far. I'm taking the Bills in this game, however, because I do still believe that they are the best team in football. They aren't right now to me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I'm taking Buffalo versus Baltimore. Hopefully it's a revenge game for them.
Lamar Jackson has been unstoppable to start this year so far. It's that he's playing for that bag. He's proven them wrong that they should have paid him. Give me the Ravens. I think this is going to be a really fun game. But yeah, Lamar's looked unstoppable so far. He's like 8th in the league in rushing, along with obviously being up there in passing. So yeah, give me the Ravens.
Yeah.
Next, we have the 1-2 LA Chargers taking on the 0-2-1 Houston Texans.
Please, Keenan Allen, play some football. Just get out there and just run a couple routes, a couple hook routes.
Touchdowns. No, actually, we need Mike Williams to get more than one catch this week.
No. I'm going with Chargers in this game. The Texans still suck. Davis Mills is not very good.
Yeah, Davis mid. I got the Chargers here too. Like they got blown out by the Jags, but they have a nice rebound match here. So next we have the 1-2 Seattle Seahawks taking on your very own 1-2 Detroit Lions.
Well, you know who we're taking. Both of us.
I wonder who.
It's obviously Detroit. The interesting thing is the spread at +4.5 for Seattle.
No.
I will be taking that.
Oh, I mean, it's smart. I get it. But, like, to waste one of your 3 onto the team that's playing the
Hey,
Lions.
you say waste until it happens. It's just like
No, I get it.
we haven't blown out a team.
Yeah.
We don't blow out teams. They're close games.
The Lions actually opened at, like on Monday, they opened at -6.5, which is just like, whoa. Like, that's a little crazy.
That's a lot.
I think with the injuries and everything going on, they did lower it a little bit. Yeah, give me the Lions. Shout out Barstool Detroit. It's got this brand new kneecap tour shirt. It's freaking fire. I'll be wearing it Sunday. Gotta win Sunday. Must win game for the Lions. You lose this one. I don't want to say the season is over, obviously, because it's 4 weeks. But, like, you lose this game at home against Seattle, it's not looking great, you know?
Definitely makes you really like reconsider your thoughts of being a Lions fan.
Exactly. It makes you look at the bigger picture because Jared Goff has played well, but if we suck, that means we're going to draft a QB. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Next, we have the 1-2 New York Jets taking on the 1-2 Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm doing something I don't usually do. I
Whoa.
do not like the Jets. Zach Wilson is set to make his first start
true.
of the year. He's playing a pretty good defense.
Playing against Saxburg. Like,
I'm going with Pittsburgh in this game. Not saying anything else. I'm not going to say my usual line.
I've picked the Steelers, I think, in every game this
week, I
year,
think
which
so.
has been really weird, and I'm doing it again this week. This is not a good matchup for Zach Wilson. Like you said, it's his first week back. He's probably not playing injured, but like he hasn't played in a while, and he's playing against the best pass rush defense in the NFL. give me the Steelers all day. They got to put it together offensively. I know Mitch Trubisky sucks. Maybe Kenny Pickett plays this game. Who knows? But yeah, Steelers.
Yeah, just play him at this point. Who gives a shit about Mitch Trubisky?
Because Trubisky will probably play good against the Jets, so then they'll be like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
He's the guy.
Guys, Trubisky is a backup. He is a perennial. He should be a backup for whatever team he's on.
Yeah.
Make him the backup. I don't care who you got.
Next, we have the red-hot 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the even redder, hotter 3-0 Philadelphia Eagles.
That's crazy. That they're even redder, hotter is wild. Philly looks like they're going to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is a monster. It's really cool that Tua and Jalen Hurts are both having prove-it years, and they're both doing it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That shit's awesome. Philly is favored at 6.5 points. Jacksonville's a good team. I'm taking Jacksonville's to cover the spread at plus 6.5.
But you chose Philly to win.
Chose Philly to win.
Oh, yeah, I did the same exact thing. I took Philly to win this game, but I took Jacksonville to cover at plus 6.5. I like that line. I think Philly easily could win. I took Philly against the spread last week. I took Washington to cover against them. That didn't work out. So if it happens 2 weeks in a row, that kind of sucks. I also have Philly in the team league, so would love for this game to just be up, high-scoring game.
It very well could be, especially with the way the freaking Jaguars have looked.
Yeah, Zay Jones stock building.
Dude, all I've been hearing all week is about Zay Jones. That's all I can hear.
I got him on my bench.
And people are, I think it's time to sell high on Christian Kirk if you have him.
You think so?
He's right now on pace to score 17 touchdowns. And
but he's still getting the volume though.
Yeah, I think he's gotten 7 red zone targets, like touchdown targets. But he's got 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I get the touchdowns thing, but like it's not like he's getting 3 catches in all those games.
No,
you're definitely
right.
Just got the.
I just think you can go out and with the average in 20.5, you could go get a guy like Pittman, Keenan Allen, and I think those guys are upgrades over Christian Kirk.
Oh, that's tough. I might take Kirk right now over those guys.
And I'm definitely working to trade Kirk.
And you have Kirk. Pittman and Keenan Allen, so like of course you say 2.
They're just 2
on your team.
Well, those dudes are sucking right now. Not that Pittman's sucking, but like.
But you still said they're an upgrade over
They're
Kirk.
buy low candidates.
Yes, they are.
They're both buy low.
You're
candidates.
Right. Next we have the 2-1 Cleveland Browns taking on the 1-2 Atlanta Falcons.
In this game, I'm going Cleveland. The Atlanta Falcons are interesting. They're weird. Cordero will go off 1 week, get 3 opportunities the next week.
Nah, that was just a 1 week thing. He's going to be elite the whole rest of the year.
And he's got traded in our league, and I've been wanting him for weeks.
Oh, dude, I got to try to get him. I had him all my leagues last year, and it was just awesome.
I think he's going to be good again this year, guys. I don't see why not. Drake London is another guy you need to go trade for. He will be good all year, I think. I'm going to Cleveland in this game. However, I don't think you can stop the run. Their run is just dominant.
Yeah, I'm actually taking Atlanta in this game as an upset. I don't know. I'm just feeling Atlanta in this one.
Respect.
Next, we have the 1-2 Washington Commanders taking on the 2-1 Dallas Cowboys.
We beat the Commanders this year already. We haven't played the Cowboys yet. I want the Cowboys to have the best record possible coming in to play Detroit. Let's bump up our standings. Let's get looking good. Dallas win this football game against Washington. Make Carson Wentz look like the bitch he really is.
Oh, everyone hates Carson Wentz. I'm taking Dallas in this game. Want to know why? Because Cooper Rush is the starting quarterback. The second Dak Prescott comes back, it's other team all day. But Cooper Rush, undefeated, never lost. Give me the Dallas Cowboys and give me them to cover at -3.5. I think they should win by at least a tutty against Washington. Actually, Dak Prescott might come back this week. They said he is looking good, so he's probably going to come back before the Lions game, which is perfect because that means they can start to lose again. So yeah, give me Dallas as long as Cooper Rush is under center.
Yeah, if Cooper Rush plays good this week, Dallas should pay him for the next 8 years to be their back.
8 years.
Well, something ridiculous. He has been great as a backup. He's exactly what you want a backup to do. Come in and don't do a lot.
Yeah.
Just be good. And that's what Cooper Rush is about.
Yeah, exactly. Next, we have the 1-2 Arizona Cardinals taking on the 1-2 Carolina Panthers.
I don't like either of these teams. I think they're both just dumpster fire, kind of. This is the vibe I feel from these teams. The Cardinals, I think, will be a lot different when D-Hop comes back. I'm really hoping the offense is a lot different, but I'm still just not sure how great they are. I am, however, picking them to win over Carolina. Carolina's offense has been weird. Baker Mayfield refuses to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey in a pass. He's the best pass catching back.
And refuses to pass to DJ Moore, too.
It's something weird is going on in Carolina.
Yeah, I'm taking Arizona here, even though they're 1-2 and their one loss came off of a really crazy type ending of a game. So I think they're going to get their first definitive win in this game. Next, we have the 2-1 Denver Broncos taking on the 0-3 Las Vegas Raiders. Only 0-3 team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. And it's so weird because everybody just didn't expect this. Nobody saw this coming. I don't believe, I could be wrong, they start 0-4. And Denver still looks terrible.
Yeah. That 2-1 record is just not
they're like the Giants.
It is not fitting. You put the Denver against the teams the Raiders have played and put the Raiders against the team Denver's played, you might have a swapped records.
Yeah, for sure. You might be. Yeah. Facts. I'm taking Las Vegas in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders. I know they're 0-3, but they got to get their first win at some point. I think this is the perfect time. Denver's offense just looks really terrible. I mean, it's actually really surprising. As much as the Russ hate obviously is a common thing to give, he really has not looked good. And as far as connecting with everyone, Sutton has done solid, but that's about it. Yeah, give me the Raiders in this game.
Yeah, I think the expectations were too high for the start of the season for Denver.
Yeah, it's definitely so far.
I do think they could figure it out.
And they are 2-1. They, through all the badness, they are 2-1.
This is the second time in 11 years that Russell Wilson's played for a different team other than the Seahawks. It's going to take him a while to figure things out. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
And I'm a Russell Wilson not fan. So for me to say that took a lot. I'm tired.
Next, we have the 1-2 New England Patriots taking on the 2-1 Green Bay Packers.
I don't care who's starting. They could start me or you next week, and I'm taking the Patriots. Never going to take
Brian
the
Hoyer
Packers.
is going to start.
That's so hype. Give me Brian Hoyer.
Yeah.
Second greatest Browns quarterback in the last 20 years. Like he is, right?
That's probably true, yeah. I'm taking the Packers in this game, but I'm not just taking them outright. There's no shot. The Patriots are at +10 right now. They're gonna cover. I mean, the Packers, they look good. Whatever. They beat Tampa Bay. Who cares? Packers are gonna win. Patriots are gonna cover. That's all I got.
That's 2 points for you if that happens.
It is.
Yep.
That is how that works.
Yep.
Sunday Night Football. We have the 2-1 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 2-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This game's going to be fun. Loaded defense of Tampa versus Kansas City's high-powered offense. That is Patrick Mahomes, the whole offense. Tampa Bay's got a really good shot in this game, but they're just so banged up on offense. And that's Patrick Mahomes continues to find ways to win. You could say the same about Tom Brady, I guess, but the vibe is given Kansas City. I'm going with Kansas City.
It's giving Kansas City, yeah. Yeah, give me Kansas City, honestly. I agree with you. Tampa Bay's looked weird. It's not like they've looked bad, but they just have not looked right. Obviously, they're really injured on the offensive side of the ball, so that's a huge part of it. But I'm going to take the Chiefs here. They had a bad week last week. I think they're going to bounce back and get a dub here. And it's rematch. Pat Mahomes got his rematch against
Brady.
Tom Brady
Yeah.
from the Super Bowl. So I think they have played once since then, but still. Monday Night Football, we have the 2-1 LA Rams taking on the 1-2 San Francisco 49ers.
This game's going to be fun. George Kittle was terrible. I told everybody, if you have him, be excited. You can stop. I mean, he will give you 35 in the next 4 weeks. I'm really excited to watch this game. Actually, I like watching both these football teams. I've become a low-key Niners guy. I like watching them. But give me the Rams in this game.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest rivalries in the NFL right now. This is going to be a really fun game. I'm also taking the Rams. I went against them last week, and they proved me wrong and got the win, so I feel like I got to back them up this week, and I'm going to take them on Monday Night Football.
They're 1-2, right? 1-2. The Rams.
They're 2-1. They lost to Buffalo week 1, and then they beat Atlanta, beat Arizona.
Yep.
But they almost blew it to Atlanta.
Yeah, and 2 shitty franchises.
Right. So we should probably pick a tiebreaker game, just in case, because I realize we haven't been doing that, just in case that the tiebreakers also match up and everything. Want to do Buffalo, Baltimore, since that's a huge game. We both picked opposite. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be a good one.
Yep, I agree.
Because I could just so see it happening, and then we're like, oh, what do we do now?
It just sucks that that right there isn't a primetime game.
I know,
Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't
But
mind
they
if
have given
did
it to
that.
Buffalo like a lot so far this year.
For sure.
But obviously, if you know how this works with the tiebreakers, that is not our initial tiebreaker. Our initial tiebreakers are the primetime games. And then if those are still tied, then we go to the sudden death, singular primetime or regular game that we chose differently.
Yep.
So that's how that works. All right, let's get into our... Actually, before we do that, let's talk about NBA Media Day for like a few minutes. First of all, the Pistons, awesome. I obviously always love Media Day. But there wasn't like a lot of like crazy stuff that happened at Media Day this year. It was just kind of cool to see like all the new faces everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big Jalen Duren really is. Like, he towers
big.
over Beef Stew.
Oh yeah, well Beef Stew's short. Like,
Yeah, but like Beef Stew is 6'9". I didn't
Yeah.
realize Jalen Duren looks like he's 7 foot next to him. And I guess I thought he was like 6'10".
I think he is 6'10". Beef Stew's 6'8".
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
he's
guess.
tiny.
Oh my god. It's still. I guess it's still.
He
kind
still
of
looks
small.
a lot bigger than
Yeah,
him, though,
he's
yeah.
just Jalen Duren is so massive. I'm super excited to watch this Pistons team. Any other media day about the Pistons?
I mean, not really of the Pistons that I think we need to talk about. I mean, we didn't really talk about Bojan Bogdanovic trade. I don't think that has been like brought up because that happened. Yeah, that happened on Thursday last week. So
Yeah.
it's been we haven't talked about it on the podcast at all. Really love the trade. I made a TikTok about it if you want to go see what my initial thoughts were on the trade. But yeah, I love the trade. I think it's perfect for this team. We needed more shooting. There was a question mark at who's going to start at the 4. Now we know, and he's a guy that can be on the team the rest of the year, or we can trade him at the deadline if there's a high price for him. So I love it.
Yeah, not only is Bojan going to be great, I think, for the Pistons and for Cade's development. Let's surround him with another shooter. We freed up some center minutes by moving Kelly Olynyk.
That's a big part too.
Freed up some guard rotation minutes. I mean, not that Saban Lee was like demanding minutes, but he would come in and get some minutes.
And it was just a roster spot that we didn't really need. Like I mean, as much as Saban Lee, I'm not gonna I wasn't like a fan of him or anything. Like he wasn't very good. Like he didn't show much. He's a G League legend.
He was feisty. He was feisty.
Yeah, he's feisty, but like he's a guy that he does need to be on the roster after being in the G League for 2 years now. But I like that we moved him. We didn't have to give up any picks in this trade either, which is really, really surprising to me. So yeah, I'd love that deal. Kemba Walker still technically is on the Pistons. He's not going to be attending training camp though. So once we buy him out, I assume that's what will happen. We will have an open roster spot. So I don't know what their plan is with that. Maybe there's more stuff in the works, but training camp is starting this week. So there's probably not a trade coming or anything.
Yeah, no, I did hear rumors of
Really?
us signing Carmelo Anthony and Boogie Cousins and
No.
Blake Griffin.
Blake. Yeah, I'll pass on that.
Other media day, the Suns.
Yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to talk
That's the
about.
talk of the town. They don't even look like they like basketball anymore.
Specifically DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
Like, he
Was
looks
Jay
like,
Crowder even there?
No, Jay Crowder's not there. Like
Like-
he said, he's not going to training camp. He demanded a trade, and it's because of Cam Johnson getting the starting job over him, which is really weird. Because like, I feel like we kind of just knew that was going to happen. And did you see like the whole video he posted on Instagram?
The workout video.
Like the hype, like Jay Crowder, like the whole hype video of him getting
I didn't
traded.
watch
like,
the video.
It's like a long, like 2.5 minute video of just like, yeah, it's him working out. It's him like talking about being in a place that you're wanted and how valuable he is. And it's just like, I mean, it's like a video of like a superstar, you would think, like no hate to Jay Crowder. He's an important
It feels like
piece.
LeBron James.
Literally, it does. So like, I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, Jay, and it's not. I think everybody likes Jay Crowder. I don't know many people who hate Jay Crowder. I mean, he used to have beef with LeBron a long time ago, but like he went back-to-back finals. He's a very good player. But like to think you're like always going to be a starter caliber player, no matter how old you are on
Yeah.
a championship roster, just seems
It's
crazy.
a little
to me.
outlandish
And, like,
to think. Yeah.
What's a team? Yeah, can you think of a team off the top of your head, or maybe you've already thought of this, that he could go to right now that is contending and he could start at the 4? I cannot think of one.
Especially a team that would actually like make sense to financially make a trade, because he's not a cheap. I mean, he's making like 12 million something. Maybe
I think
it's
so.
8.
I think it's 12.
Yeah, it's something in that range. So like, it would have to be a trade that makes sense. Not that I can think of. Like obviously, and it would be a contending team too.
Yeah.
It's not like some random team. Like I saw something that Cleveland is interested in trading for him, but like he wouldn't start. Like he's not gonna start. I mean, maybe he starts at the 3, I guess, but like.
Yeah, maybe, but like it's not like Cleveland is in that much of a need.
Right, exactly. And who do they
go.
trade? Like they don't have anyone to trade for him that matches the money. So it's like,
Yeah, Jay Crowder's situation is really weird.
It is.
It feels like, and it feels like he thinks he's better than he is, because he isn't that level of player. He doesn't, no matter what team he goes to, like you said, he doesn't need to start. There's a lot of teams where they've either got a young guy or somebody better.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting
and
at that
there
spot.
was, I do think part of the reason why he wants out is to deal with the Robert Sarver allegations and everything. I think that he also said that is playing a role in it. He doesn't want to be a part of that organization, which is completely understandable.
I think that's cool.
And then DeAndre Ayton, obviously, is the really weird thing. Dude just looks like he hates being on the Suns. They asked him about, like, the guy literally congratulated him, like, on his new contract. Like, that's awesome. Like, what was your first thoughts of like being them matching the deal and you getting that money? Like, it wasn't even like a, like, oh, you're back in Phoenix, I bet you hate that. Like, it was more of like a, you got paid, that's cool.
This is hype,
how
bro.
do you feel? And he's just like,
Glad it happened.
I'm glad it happened, it's over with. And then it was just like they asked him about like how he feels to be here, and he was like, it feels all right. Like, I got to play for the name that's on my shirt. I'm a part of this organ. Like, it was just, he like doesn't want to be there, clearly.
Yeah, and I did. Kenny was talking about at KOT4Q. He mentioned, what did I want to see from the Suns? I don't know. I definitely don't want to see them all happy and giddy. I mean, they did just get blown out and embarrassed, and one of the most embarrassing losses I've ever seen.
But that's just a little like...
But, like, they were just so far in left field of the other side. Like, and DeAndre Ayton especially. It just so, like, a lot of people are already speculating that he gets moved at some point this season. And it's just, it seems like he was hoping the Phoenix Suns wouldn't match the offer.
Which I bet he was hoping that.
He's probably like,
and he said he hasn't spoken to Monty Williams since that loss against Dallas. What? Like, you haven't talked to your coach all offseason?
I think he was talking about specifically the incident of him getting benched in Game 7. I think that's what the question was. Have you talked about him about the incident? But even then, like, as a head coach, you didn't talk to your player.
Exactly. Or maybe he tried reaching out and Ayton just didn't want to do it. So
that was the same reason KD left the Warriors, was because there was an argument that happened on the court and it didn't get handled correctly and it felt like it was just brushed over.
Yeah.
You can't just brush over shit like that. These are human beings and they're your players. Monty Williams, you were a very, very well-respected coach up until, and you still are. But not to DeAndre Ayton anymore, probably.
Yeah, probably not.
It really sucks to see this Phoenix Suns team look like they're beginning to crumble. Who knows what actually happens? We still got a long season of basketball. Every other media day was all happy and giddy, other than the Spurs, about how great they're going to be. And half those teams aren't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot that goes into media day. That's a lot of blowing smoke.
And Jimmy Butler also has crazy hair.
That is so cool.
That's the last part.
That is so cool.
All right, so now I think we're ready to get into our list. We are doing top 10 backcourts in the NBA. This list is like crazy hard. Like, this was like the hardest list I think we've done. I think this is harder than any of the position ranking lists. Just because, like, how do you rank a duo? Like, you have to take team performance into consideration, but like, also, how much does the backcourt correlate to team performance? Like, how important are they? Is one guy a star and the other guy's not? Like, is that better than two guys that are both the same caliber? It's really tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of backcourts where it's like, man, how do I even rank these guys against each other?
Yeah.
This, like you said, the tier 2 player, the 2 guard is better than this team's 2 guard. But their superstar is just much more of a superstar. And we'll get into more examples, but this list was tough. I was literally, as we were sitting here writing it down, I was like, man, I don't know. I just don't know about that.
Like, I don't even know, like, my number one I had to debate over, too. Yeah. And it's just like, I have 5 honorable mentions, I want to say, because I just wrote down all the guys that I was thinking about in no particular order. Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine missed. Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr. missed. D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards missed. I put Kyrie and Ben Simmons because, like, I didn't know if that is how they're going to do it, but I put them as an honorable mention. That's mainly why I didn't put them on the list. And same thing with John Wall and Paul George.
Yep.
We haven't seen John Wall, so I feel like it'd be weird to put him on here. But if that was for sure the backcourt, I probably would put them on the list. But I don't know if Paul George is going to be the 2 or 3 with Kawhi coming back. Who knows? So those are my guys that didn't make the list.
Yeah, I'm super intrigued to see who you have, I guess, because there are two sets of guys on that honorable mentions that made my list. Lonzo and LaVine.
I 100% know one that you don't have. The other one I don't know, though.
Yeah, Lonzo and Levine, like the first guys off my list. It was like, man, these guys are great.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited. And it sucks that they didn't make it. I'm really hopeful for Lonzo Ball's recovery.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Number 10.
My number 10 is D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards. It's a little bit of a projection.
Which is fine. I mean, that's kind of what this is.
Yeah, I mean, we've got guys, Trae Young and DeJounte are on this list. DG and D Mitch are on this list. So that's also projecting. But, like, I think they're going to be really good. I think the Timberwolves have an opportunity to be very great. But I don't know where else to rank them other than number 10. They're not better than any of the groups in front of them. Well, they could be at the end of this year.
They could be at the end, yes. Yeah. But at this moment, yeah, they're
because my number 9, they very well could be better than after the first week. Like, I could believe it.
Yeah. My number 10 is Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons. I think that this is going to be a fun duo, but like we really haven't seen them play together with the style that Anthony Simons like turned into this past season. I think it's going to be a lot different than a CJ and Dame type situation, just because Simons is much more of a playmaker. Obviously, CJ still is a playmaker, but I'm just intrigued to see how they complement each other because they're different play style. I mean, they're almost the same play style, so it's going to clash a little bit. But I think they could be very talented because Simons could break out even more, and we know what we're getting from Dame. So they're my number 10.
Yeah, that was one of the guys that also didn't make.
Okay, I kind of figured that one was.
And that makes, that's interesting. That's interesting. My number 9 is Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr. Reports came out from the Raptors media day. Scotty Barnes said he's running the 1 this year, which he said he's super excited about. He's ran the 1 his whole life, which is so interesting.
Yeah, it is weird.
But like, I don't know if that means he starts and Gary Trent comes off the bench. I'm not really sure what that looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that core 5 still all starts. Like,
yeah.
I don't know who
Pascal, OG, Scotty.
Yeah, Trent and Freddie.
Yeah. Which is just super interesting. I'm really excited to see what the Raptors do. But just because I'm not, that's all just talk, media talk. I put Freddie and Trent on here. But if I put Freddie and Scotty, they would be a couple spots higher, 1 spot higher.
Okay. My number 9 is like, this is one that I feel like it technically like shouldn't be the backcourt. Like if we're going off ESPN rosters or whatever, it's not going to be the backcourt, but this is going to be their backcourt for this year. So my number 9 is CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. I assume they didn't make your list.
They didn't make my list.
Yeah. That's going to be the starting lineup for the Pelicans this year with Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas. Brandon Ingram was really good last year. He's one of the biggest shooting guards on this list, obviously. And CJ McCollum is not your traditional point guard, but it worked last year. They ran this exact lineup, but with Jackson Hayes at the 4 instead of Zion. So he's going to come in, replace that. And I think that Pelicans team in general is going to be really good. But this backcourt is going to be even more fun to watch.
Yeah, talk about a media day we should have talked about.
Yeah, that's
Zion
true.
Williamson looks like a freaking monster.
He looks crazy.
He looks so unbelievably good. He looks so fit. He looks ready to play. He was smiling the whole time. That man, it was awesome.
You see that picture of David Griffin like smirking at him and CJ like in the room, like CJ and Zion were talking. He's just like in the doorway, just like staring. It's like a proud dad.
He is just so excited. This Pelicans team is gonna be fun. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, they're definitely gonna be the backcourt.
Yeah, and obviously Brandon Ingram, like, oh, you don't think shooting guard, but like he literally is gonna be the shooting guard this year.
Is that the top 5? Is that the most lethal death lineup ever? I mean, like it feels like it could be.
Yeah.
How are teams going to beat that?
Exactly.
How will you match up against?
And then
that
what
team?
if Dyson Daniels is like just pretty good right away, like Giddey was? Like
you're screwed.
6'6" point guard, 6'7", like
that team is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Number 8.
My number 8 is Tyrese Maxey and James Harden. I don't know why I said it in that order because it's flip-flop.
I actually have him in that order too.
Really?
Which is
It's
weird.
really weird. Harden's obviously the 1.
Yeah.
Maxey the 2. Maxey was great last year. Became one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. Really took that leap, and I'm excited to see if he takes another leap this year. James Harden is still James Harden. A full season of him next to Joel is going to be hype.
Yeah.
This Philly team should be exciting. James Harden said he lost 100 pounds. Just bullshit.
Interesting.
Like, let's just keep bullshitting. But man, I'm excited to watch this team. They are so elite.
Yeah.
As a backcourt.
Yeah, my number 8 is also Tyrese Maxey and James Harden. Like you said, they were pretty good last year when they played together. Maxey, they were kind of worried about how he was going to fit with Harden because he was playing the 1 so well before Harden came over. But he played really well off the ball with Harden. I think Harden's going to have a good year, especially because there was a lot of games where Joel Embiid was injured after he came over and he couldn't really do his thing. I think with James or Joel Embiid healthy, and with PJ Tucker now added to the squad, I think Harden is really going to solidify this point guard facilitating role where he still gets his 20, but that's about it. I think he's going to play his role really, really well, and I have them at number 8.
If let's do a little game here. If you had to pick somebody to lead the league in assists this year, is it Chris Paul or James Harden?
Probably James Harden. Yeah,
that's what I think too.
Probably because Chris Paul had it's James Harden. Yeah,
I'm really excited to see what happens this year.
All right, I got one more.
Yep.
I'm looking at my list just to think of the other guy because I had one in mind. Luka or Trae Young?
I'm gonna say Trae Young.
Yeah, I say Trae Young too.
But he is being joined.
You're
by
right,
a guard.
He's a 8 assist guy last year. So.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna go with Luka. I think Luka's the safe bet. I really do.
He probably is.
I'll go. Luka.
I'll stick with Trae Young.
We should place a water bet on that. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. Why'd you say it?
Like no, like a water bet. Let's just Let's just throw it out there. That's a bet we have.
Oh yeah, okay.
But we need to put.
Will we
something on the
remember
line.
it too?
No.
Number 7.
My number 7 is Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown, the depoy next to a lethal scorer who I still find very inconsistent. Scoring the ball wise, as you don't know what you're going to get from him on a game to game basis.
Yeah.
On a quarter to quarter basis, he might take 1 shot in the first quarter and 9 in the third. He's just really interested, and I think this team is just so much of a team success. The whole squad. It really what's the word I'm looking for? Contributes to wins.
I was like, I don't know what you're looking for.
I couldn't get even the start of it. I'm really excited to see what the Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown continue to turn into. Jaylen Brown is expected to still take another leap. People still think he's getting better, and he is.
Yeah.
Really excited to see that.
This next one I think is the toughest one to rank just because of who the duo is. But number 7 is Luka and Spencer Dinwiddie. Originally had them at 8, and I switched them up to 7 with Maxey and James Harden after thinking about it. They're just so hard to rank because Dinwiddie is clearly the worst player on this list. I don't know, maybe Anthony Simons. It's up for debate, but Luka is maybe clearly the best player on this list. So it's really hard to. This is the tough one where it's you have a elite ass player and then a good player as his other backcourt member. But I think Dinwiddie, the fact that he was good once he got to Dallas last year really helps them be higher on this list because I think they're going to work out really well, obviously, and they did that with Jalen Brunson there as well. So I'm excited to see what happens with Dallas because they do have a lot of guys, not new guys, but Tim Hardaway's back. Christian Wood is obviously new. So I'm excited to see how they use their actual lineup, but they're my number 7.
Yeah, my number 6 is Luka and Dinwiddie. Like you said, they're just so difficult to rank because of Dinwiddie. Luka is, to me, the best player on this list. It's
debatable. Obviously,
it's so tough with Steph.
Steph, obviously. Yeah.
But Luka is so impressive, and he alone, you don't even have to throw in the backcourt. You could put Luka in blank, and he'd probably still be a top 10
I agree.
backcourt.
I agree, yeah.
So this is just so tough. They're the toughest duo to rank by far because they're just not the elite duo you think of. They've just got the one guy who dominates night in and night out. Not that Dinwiddie's a bad player, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. My number 6 is Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown. Our lists have been pretty similar so far. Yeah, this is actually kind of weird because we didn't do any discussing before this list at all. And these are always the ones that I'm scared that they're just going to be not scared, but just they're going to be so all over the place.
At what point do we start an actual argument? We've only had 2 on this whole podcast.
Yeah, literally.
The history of it.
But I don't know. Stuff like this, I don't really care to argue about.
Yeah.
I don't really it's not that big of a deal because it's so hard to rank.
Yeah.
If it's something I'm passionate about, I'm not passionate that they are better than Luka and Dinwiddie.
Until my team gets involved, it's a lot different.
Yeah, exactly.
If we're talking Cade and Jaden Ivey, it's a little bit different.
They might be top 10. Yeah, Corey Joseph and Rodney Magruder. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Smart and Jaylen Brown, they made it to the finals. They have to be higher on this list, obviously. Marcus Smart, Depoy, he had a really good year last year. Like you said, Jaylen Brown is inconsistent, but he still had a very, very good year last year and played well in the NBA Finals. So they are my number 6.
Yeah, my number 5 is Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. This is another duo that is tough to rank for a totally different reason. We've never seen these guys play together.
Yeah.
We know they're individually great and can run an offense extremely well. Trae Young is a top 5 offense with him himself. It doesn't matter who he's surrounded by; they will be great. This is the duo where I have the most questions, but I'm also fairly confident in how good they will be.
Me as well.
I really do think this duo will work to a T. I think it'll work exactly how it should. But they do have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It does still. They've got their questions still.
This one was tough for me to put here because I feel like it's going to upset some people, especially this specific fan base. But number 5 is Ja Morant and Desmond Bane. Obviously, this duo is... I have 2 duos higher that haven't even played together yet. So it's like this other duo was, like 2 seed in the West last year. Really good. But, I mean, talking about good things from this duo, I mean, obviously they both broke out last year. Desmond Bane had the huge leap that I wouldn't say no one was expecting, but I wasn't,
I would
guess.
say no one.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was going to be better, but I didn't think he was going to be like borderline all-star type good,
I barely knew who Desmond Bane was heading into this year.
Yeah.
Like, no shit. And I really do pay attention. Like, I'm not a casual, and I'm not like the expert. Like, I think you really do know a lot more than even a true, like a diehard NBA fan. I'm not quite to that level, but I know a lot about the NBA.
Yeah.
Desmond Bane broke out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, nobody saw it.
Literally, like it was out of nowhere. Yeah, and like obviously I knew he would be a good piece to that team, good shooter and everything. But he was it all. He was great last year, and obviously Ja Morant. We know what Ja Morant is, one of the most electric, most fun players in the entire NBA. And it was led by these two. I know Jaren was down low, but I would say that these two led their team last year. As far as the leadership, So it's hard for me to put them at 5. I understand why, you have them higher over these 2 duos that aren't here, but I guess I'll talk about that when I get to them.
Yeah, my number 4 is Ja and Desmond Bane actually splitting. Shit.
How does that work?
I didn't just say anything. Number 4 is Ja and Desmond Bane. Like we said everything.
Wait. So you're just gonna skip over the fact that you just totally contradicted your own point?
What I contradict?
Well, I thought you were gonna change your list right then and there.
No, I wasn't. I said I was gonna start saying something, but then I realized it was gonna reveal something else in my list.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, you said splitting. I can assume. Yeah. I can assume. What
yeah, and now it's like, oh.
I mean, I figured I don't think you would put them top 2.
You're right. So Ja and Desmond Bane, they're great. Memphis Grizzlies are just taking jump after jump after jump, and now they're the most. And Ja Morant's now one of the most hated players in basketball and I don't really get that. I don't know anybody that hates him.
It's just how NBA Twitter fans are. They love a dude a lot, and then they get sick of him, and then it turns to a hatred.
Why did they get sick of Ja?
It's like Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Like everyone in the finals against Bucks loved him. Everyone hates him now. It's just it's just the cycle of how stuff goes.
Yeah, I just love Ja's cocky attitude and the whole Grizzlies team. Eventually, I will dislike it. It's fun to watch those teams kind of fall.
You know who dudes are going to start, or Twitter fans are going to start hating?
Who?
Jason Tatum. And
you think?
Some of the Celtics guys.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Especially if they keep being knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Because then everybody's like, oh, you're
well,
not
as soon as
good.
they just start to do bad, it's just they just hate them. So I don't get it either. What number is this?
4.
My number 4 is Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. This duo is on paper, I think, one of the more interesting duos I've ever seen. It's because I guess compared to who they have on the floor with them, because you look at Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, you compare these 2 duos because they're new duos or whatever and everything. They're playing with John Collins and Clint Capella, whereas Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland are playing with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I think that's a whole nother level of players, especially to fit their needs, defensive rim protecting beasts. But I just feel like the reason I have them lower than Trae Young and DeJounte Murray is I think that the fact that they have the other duo has the elite defender there, I think helps me a lot with picking them. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell is one of the best players, one of the best shooting guards in the league, but so is Trae Young, one of the best point guards in the league. I love Darius Garland. I like this duo a lot. I just like the other one more. I think they are going to have more chances at being successful. So as a duo, obviously not as a team, but as a duo, this is a small duo. They're both 6'1", but I think it's going to work 100%. I'm not saying it's going to not work or anything. I have them at number 4. That's my number 4.
Yeah, my number 3 is Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. And I ranked them higher because I think the team's success is going to be so strong. And I think they're going to carry the weight of the offense the whole year.
They will.
Not saying that Trae Young and DeJounte won't, because they do. But, man, this team has just, to me, as an outsider, has been built to perfection from here. I mean, you have your great offensive weapons, your 4 that can stretch the floor, and he's becoming one of the most lockdown defenders in the entire NBA. You have one of the best rim protectors in the league. And you've just got these great guards. And if they're not that great of defenders, who cares? They've got
and they have Ricky Rubio to back them up, too.
Man, this team is awesome.
Yeah.
This Cleveland team is awesome. And we're just going to have to beat them for the next 8 years with Cade.
Yeah, we will.
It
Cade
sucks.
and Ivy will pass him on this list. Just give it some years.
It really sucks to be a Cleveland fan knowing that the Pistons are in
it
Detroit.
must suck, dude. They being them, like, just in the back of their mind, they have to think about that.
Yeah, it blows.
I will say, too, by the way, you and me, like, called, like, Donovan Mitchell to the Cavs as the most perfect fit, like, months ago. Like,
way before.
Like, when when the season was still going on and the Jazz got eliminated, and it was like, Donovan Mitchell trades, it's the Knicks, and that's Knicks or Heat. And it's like, yeah, like, that would be cool, but, like, the coolest would be the Cavs.
Yeah, how did that... I feel like you asked me on the podcast.
I think I actually texted you about it, like, randomly, and I was like, the Cavs would be a good team. And then we just talked about it on the podcast, like, multiple times after that.
And it totally made sense, and me and Skunk are actually going to quit the podcast soon and become GMs.
Yep, hire us. My number 3 is Trae Young, DeJounte Murray. I think I've talked about them a lot. I think I gave them the edge because I think Trae Young being one of the most elite playmaking / scoring guards in the league, if not the most elite at doing both, combined with the defense that DeJounte Murray is going to bring, the tenacity, and obviously he is going to be a playmaker in himself. I think that duo, just strictly duo of players, they bring the most to the table, I guess, compared to the other two. So I got them at number 3.
My number 2 is Chris Paul and Devin Booker, the most hated backcourt in the NBA. I don't know what to say about them anymore that I haven't already said. And the Suns as a whole, I don't know what's going to happen in Phoenix this year. They could fall on this list.
Yeah.
They could stay right where they are. They could have a great year. D-Book could take a huge jump, and Chris Paul, his age, might continue to show like it felt like it did against the Mavericks. Obviously, that's one series, but who knows what happens this year in Phoenix. But right now, they're the second best backcourt duo in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. This was the hardest part of this list, like just trying to figure out where to place these guys at. And unlike popular demand, my number 2 is Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. This was so hard because, like, we know what Klay Thompson is. You know, like, he is not the player he used to be. If this was 2 years ago, they're number 1 on duo list, backcourt list, like, no matter what. Steph Curry being here obviously raises the bar, and they were the NBA champions. And the Phoenix Suns, I mean, it's pretty obvious who my number 1 is. Like, they lost in horrible fashion. But if I'm ranking the duo, I do think the duo of Chris Paul and Devin Booker is better. Because of Klay Thompson is not on that level anymore, Steph Curry is Steph Curry. Like, I get it. And I understand why you have them at number 1. I did that at first, and I was just really thinking about it, and I was like, man, I understand that the Suns choked and everything, but, like, they were the best team in the league. They won to the finals with their first year together. Like, they really do fit together so well. So I have Steph and Klay at number 2, but it just feels wrong. But I got them at number 2.
Yeah, I took Stephen Clay. Number 1 is Stephen Clay for me. I really did take Stephen Clay because of the history.
Yeah.
I know this is we're ranking them right now, but you can't deny
you
the
have
fact
to, yeah, you
that
can't just ignore it.
They've won 4 rings. No, 5 rings.
4
rings together. I thought, because LeBron and Steph have the same amount. Yeah.
Yep.
Those 4 rings, they were the best 2 players on the floor for 3 of them. This last one, Clay, isn't himself anymore. This isn't the same old Clay. Sock, SOC, sock, SOK, that we used to see, and it really does suck. I'm really hopeful that he can kind of recover and have a better year than he did after coming back. I think he very well could. Steph Curry is still incredible. This Warriors team. And that's where the team success is where I put them higher. They've just been so successful with this being their only backcourt for so long. Really awesome that they've been around for so long. They're one of the best backcourt duos ever. No question about it.
Yeah, my number one is Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Like I said, I put them higher. This one was just such a tough ranking to do, but I put them higher, like I said, because I just think they complement each other so well with Chris Paul's mid-range scoring, passing ability, along with Devin Booker really being able to take over at any given time, his scoring ability. And then obviously Chris Paul does still play pretty good defense. It's not as good as everyone really says it still is. Like I get it. He's always been a good defender. It's not really at that elite level or anything. It's still solid. It's still better than Steph Curry, I guess. So, but yeah, I have them at number one. I think the Suns are still going to be good this year, but everything going on though, like this will probably be the last year they're number one on this list specifically. I would like to see, because we didn't do this list last year, but I think we did it like a long time ago, like before we even started doing TikToks and stuff. I might try to find it and like listen to what it is, because it'd be cool to hear.
Yeah, Ivan, I think we did do a TikTok about it, because even Ivan was like, "Didn't you guys already do that?" And I was like, I remember.
It definitely wasn't last year. Like it had to have been years ago.
It had to be 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I definitely know we did it. It is.
I think it was back when we still did the TikToks where we like
pointed
at stuff, like yeah, that was so much work. Like now it's just take the clips of us literally just talking.
Yeah, we used to like have to sit down, prop up the phone, and like get ready to point. And
ready, all right, at this point in the song we're gonna point.
And like I have no rhythm, none, and Kyle he's got it in full stride. So like I would sit there and we'd have to
I'd have to like
he'd be like,
no, on this beat, like just
on this
bob your head to the beat, you'll get it.
Really funny.
All right, everybody, that's today's episode. Like I said, go check us, download Thrive Fantasy Sports. Even if obviously if you're from Michigan, like you don't really have to, but if you're not from Michigan, do it. Use our code TEMPO. It would be awesome. And also go check out all of our other videos. We've been pumping out the content lately. Like, what more do you want from us?
Who's doing it like us?
No one.
Who's doing it like us?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Bye.
Peace.